Hi friend, thank you for watching. My name is Mia and this is my virtual vanity, a place where we both love makeup and we're quite critical of it. Today I'm going to do a redo of a very old video of mine from the very beginnings of my channel. I'm going to talk about the eyeshadow singles that I feel are the best at providing a one and done look. All of these can be worn either on their own or just throw a random matte in the crease and go. And as you can see, I've got quite the hoard over here. Different brands, multiple from different brands with, international selections. If you're curious what my nail polish is, I'm just gonna leave it in the description alongside links to what I can link. If not, just links to the brand's websites. Okay, let's get started because this is gonna be a long boy. Let's start with the most notorious brand in this list. Colourpop offers quite a large selection of single pans. They keep being sold out lately. I think their production line was disturbed by COVID, but they have 4 eyeshadows that I find are particularly beautiful when worn on their own. This is Tea Garden, which is a green duochrome with an earthy base. I think I grabbed a bit too much of that. It's got a very beautiful and subtle flip, and I think it works on most skin tones due to the medium base that it has. This makes me feel like a woodland fairy. Then we've got Colourpop Glass Bowl, an OG for a reason, and this one is literally Queen Elsa's eyeshadow favorite probably. It's got this icy blue flip with a brown type of base, and it's honestly beautiful with just a little warm something in the crease. Both of them are, but also on their own in a very thin layer, because when you close your eyes or when you move your eyes from side to side, you can only see the flip, and the base is very much a second thought because it does sheer out. These are not poppy, high contrast, high shine duochromes. These are a veil of magic over the lids. If you want something that is sparkly to all high heavens, you want to shine like the star that you are, these are 2 of their Colourpop Super Shock shadows. This is in Frog, which is a colder glittery flip, pink base with cold flakes running through it, blues, teals, silvers. Then we've got Ritz. I think Mariah Leonard at a certain point called this glitter for grown-ups because it's got this very neutral base with finely milled glitter particles, and this makes the eye look wet. This makes you look magical, like you stepped out of a fairy tale, but it's a very intentional. So look, this could actually be worn in multiple occasions without looking like you stepped out of a fairy book. Let's talk about lone shadows for a second. This is MAC Woodwinked, and this is my only MAC eyeshadow single because MAC singles are really expensive. This, I feel, is a universal shade. It can be worn by everyone of all age types and it won't look too much. It's got a warm wooden base with a subtle golden creamy flip. And when you blend it out, especially in the crease, it turns a bit more matte. So it gives this illusion of you having a darker color in the crease and a lighter color on the lid. And then it also shifts as you move your eye. So this is a very good shadow for people that are in a bit of a rush but want a eyeshadow look that looks multidimensional without it being so actually. Still in the brown category, we've got Sephora collections. Choc colorful metal eyeshadow. This is molten chocolate. I mean, you can see even in the pan the reflections and the creamy consistency of it. It's got a Super Shock-like texture, but a bit denser. It is a beautiful dark color with a very strong metallic flip. For those that want just a little bit of drama in their lives without the fuss, this can be used with great effect with both fingers for this strong flip over here, or with a brush smudged out in the crease. And then what's left is this dark chocolate delicious base that makes the eyes pop so much through its dark richness. I mean, I think this is beautiful for brown eyes. It makes them look very wild and feline-like in their depth, and also great for colored eye tones because it just makes them pop with just such a special undertone and such a special eyeshadow. Next we have Essence, and this is their Melted Chrome eyeshadow in Think About You. This is a great eyeshadow for those that want a no makeup type of look with a little bit of a spice on the eyes. It's a very mirror, water reflective like shadow, and it's perfect for those that are about my skin tone. It is indeed very light, but as you can see, the name Melted Chrome is very apt. Like, look at my finger over there. And you put it on your lids, and the base kind of matches the darker tones in my skin tone, if you can see. Just kind of, it's the same tone as the shadows in my hand. If you put it like this, it looks so very strong and metallic. If you sheer it out, it just looks like your eyes are wet and glossy without much effort at all. Let's talk an European brand. This is Melkior. I'm not sure if they're available in the US, but they're quite popular across several European countries. And I'm going to talk about two things. This is their Abstract Mood Quad, which is a trio of, I would call, subtle duochromes. They're the every woman's duochromes. Something that is friendlier to the average user than the crazy contrasted duochromes we see on YouTube. And I feel this is kind of a bit of a gothy color scheme. You've got this beautiful lavender with a purple shift, which is quite subtle. This cherry, a plum with a green shift. Again, very subtle shift here. And this green with a darkened base. So you can't see the shifts in these very well because they are, as I said, very subtle. But what makes them so great is that you can blend them out in the crease and it almost looks like a matte. And then if you apply them with your finger on your lid, you can see the actual subtle flip of them. This red one does need a bit of Fix Plus, but it's such a great vampy color without pulling an undertone that might make you look too sick. You know what I mean? Another great eyeshadow from Melkior is their single in Bright Nude. And you know, this is exactly what it says on the tin. A cold toned malted gold nude, highly reflective. Again, as you can see, I've got a preference for highly reflective duochrome or sparkly shades. Yet again, a color that is very good for someone of my skin tone or a bit darker, or for someone that has a deeper, richer skin tone, for a pop on the center lid to just make their eyes look very luminous and bright and defined. Let's talk Nabla Cosmetics. Nabla Cosmetics shadows are for me always a bit of a hit and a miss. I feel that they're doing some kind of witchcraft, some kind of blood ritual, virgin sacrifice to make some of their swatches look as good as they do. Because with some eyeshadows that I've gotten from them, I had really bad luck and I needed to just layer them and use all kinds of finessing to make them work like they do. Well, with this set of 4, I was really impressed with how they performed and how they blended out. Let's start with the most subtle ones. This is Nabla Cosmetics Unicorno, which is a golden base with a bit of a greenish flip. It doesn't show as much. It's quite a subtle flip. This is a fancier gold one shadow look, if you will, for people that just love swiping a bit of gold on their lids, someone a bit more classical, but that kind of want that extra pizzazz that a duochrome offers. Something a bit more intense than this, but in the same type of color family, is Golden Dreams from Melchior. Then we've got this shade that is called Passion Fruit, which is a very beautiful mid-toned, warm, brownish shade. Again, this is more of a satin than anything else, but it is quite dimensional if you wear it on its own, on the lid, and then blend it out in the crease. It does look like you put in more effort than you would have otherwise. I feel that this is the kind of shadow that has a bit of a darker base at its heart, but not so much that it's actually noticeable. Then we have two vampire shades over here. This is Mela Stregata, and then we have Chimera. Mela Stregata is a blackened plumish base with a strong green flip. A very witchy shade. Again, both of these, Chimera, which is a blackened base with a purple twist to it. Both of these, if you blend them out in the crease, you get this base color. Both of these have this very dark base to them that when blended out, they lose the shine, they lose the glitter sparkles, they lose the shine, they lose their shimmer, and turn into a bit of a satin matte type of shade. I really would see someone with a more alternative style using this as a one shadow look. Or for someone that kind of likes to wear darker shades or that turns to darker shades more in the winter. Okay, it's time to talk about my favorite brand of life. The fairy tale brand, the ethereal brand, the brand that I wish I would turn if a witch cursed me to turn into any piece of makeup. I just love their stuff so much. This is Nabla. And I've got three shadows from Nabla that I particularly love to use for one shadow looks. Water Dream, Alchemy, and Absinthe. Water Dream, I don't have words to describe how beautiful this shade is to me. Whenever I use it, it reminds me of light reflecting on the sea's surface at dawn. The glitter is so finely milled, so luminous, so beautiful. And this sheer base makes it so that it really looks like you're just having wet lids, while also being really useful to layer over any other type of eyeshadow without changing its color. Alchemy deserves its name. This is a cherry toned base with blue reflects running through it, kind of like a blue purple type of situation. Look how beautiful this is. This looks so dimensional. This is my I want to feel good about myself eyeshadow, my special occasion eyeshadow, my one and done eyeshadow. It's seen some love. You can see from the pan that I really do love this color. It's literally blue magic in a pan. Last but not least, Absinthe, which has a brown base and a satiny golden green shift, almost teal a bit. I don't feel the camera kind of catches the shift in this, but this is again a bit of a piece of portable magic for the eyes, but it is more subtle than Alchemy for sure. It's for someone that maybe isn't as flashy or for a neutral-ish look. Let's talk Sydney Grace, which is one of the best indie brands out there. The first shade that I want to talk about is Winter Garden, which is a beautiful mauve base with a blue flip. Its name matches so well because it reminds me of a flower springing from the ice or from snow. just a little bit of wintertime magic. And again, this blended out, the contrast between the pink and the blue makes it feel like you're using way more shadows on your eyes than you actually are. We have another darker shade here. This is Troops, and this was from their military inspired line, I think. It had military themes. A very beautiful suitish top, I would say. Very strong, so this kind of a little goes a long way with these. It's got a desaturated purple chocolatey type of base, like a raisin chocolate, let's call it. And then this silverish top flip to it. So this is again a darker look, a vampire look, but still one that looks really special. Very contrasting. If you blend it out in the crease, it loses part of its shimmer and its shine, and it makes it look like you put way more effort into it than you actually did. Last but not least, this is their single shadow in Vibrant Matte. The label peeled a bit, but I'll try and put the name in the description down below, like with everything else. Listen, you will probably use this to your grave. This is such a huge amount of eyeshadow, so a really good bang for your buck if that's the only thing that you use day to day. It is very pigmented, so a little goes a long way. As you can see, this is a creamy consistency. I would call this a wooden golden shade, a colder tone that reminds a bit of tree bark in its base and texture, with this beautiful silverish flip. Again, something that is very easy to wear on its own. I don't find it that easy to blend out on the crease, so you either need to use this as a one shadow look or as an accent color on the lid and a matte on the crease. Let's talk another Italian brand. This is Kiko Milano's Water long-lasting wet and dry use eyeshadows, and these are very satisfying to me because they have this wavy pattern on them that I just like to mush my finger in and erode over time. Very satisfying. The shades that I have here are in order: 200, 228, and 202. 200 is your standard champagne gold. Very beautiful to use on the eyes, very subtle, a beautiful watery flip to it, very grown up, no glitter, no potent shimmer. It's just a beautiful one shadow look that works well with really everything and every lip color. 228 is a grayish top, very sultry, very vampire ladylike. Again, a very beautiful satiny flip to it. You blend it in the crease and it turns more matte, whereas the 200 one doesn't have the same quality, so this is truly just a lid shade. The final shadow is 202, which is a more mauve-y taupe, and I actually think that's what it's called, like the proper name. A grown up work shadow, if you will. Very subtle satin-like flip to it. You blend it out in the crease. Again, it turns more matte. It does make your shadow look more complex than it is. So I would say that these two are quite similar to MAC Woodwinked in the fact that they have the property of being sheared out to be more complex while also being quite subtle in their shift. More indies. This is Luxie Beauty. I'm really sad because with COVID and everything else, I don't think Luxie ships anymore to Romania. But you know, it is what it is. I am in the arse end of Europe. I've made peace with it. And I've got quite a few shades here from Luxie. Let's start with the most neutral one. This is Platinum Pink. You know exactly what it says on the tin. A very taupish type of pink, I think it resembles Essence Think About You a little, but it's not as metallic. Again, with this beautiful darker flip to it that makes it look like your lid is truly multi-dimensional, and that nature made it that reflective on its own. Next we have Flower Child, which is a pink with a green-ish flip. And beautiful, especially if you have a warmer toned skin than mine, or a darker, richer than mine. This would look really, really beautiful, and it would really fit your skin tone so nicely. Then Tesla, which is a baby pink with an icy blue flip to it. Bam! It's similar with Sydney Grace Winter Garden, but much, much stronger. And you really do have to turn the duochrome around to see the reflect. It is that shiny, that potent. It really is an electrical undercurrent running through that pink base, a really special shade. Up next, we have Foxy Lady, something a bit more vampy. This has a violet top base with a strong cold gold flip to it. Last but not least, one of my favorites. This is Bougie, and you know, this name is so well chosen. This is a rich copper to gold duochrome that makes me look and feel expensive AF. This would also look great on someone that has a deeper skin tone than mine, and then you're left with this gold bronze goddess look. Okay guys, 3 left and we're done. Let's talk Asian brands. I've got the Lone Misha Prism Shadow from Yes Style. I've got a Yes Style code. I'll put that down in the description box. Come on, open up. And this is in Blue Hole Prism, I think. This is very similar to Glass Bowl, but Glass Bowl I feel has a more blue teal flip, while this is a colder blue. And it's got a bit of a finer sheen than Glass Bowl, more reflective and less actually shimmery on top of the base. It's very, very beautiful. And I've seen that all of the shadows in this Prism line swatched really beautifully. I just haven't bought any because I felt they duped out stuff that I already had. Then we've got something a bit more obscure. These are novel eyeshadows, and they're one of my favorite discoveries of 2019. I found these on AliExpress, which is kind of a Asian Amazon. You can find legit makeup, you can find knockoff makeup. You have to be careful, like with any other aggregator of this type. The annoying thing about these is the packaging, which is quite bulky, and I wrote the name on top so I can see it in my storage. You can pop them out, but it kind of depends if the glue kind of gave out on the bottom of the pans. Yeah, annoying, but at least you got like a little mirror here. And there's multiple shades, but I feel that these ones are the best for one shadow looks. I'm gonna put the shade names in the description down below, because the shade names on these don't correspond to the AliExpress listing. They're called 01, 02, 03 on there. You've got this beautiful golden fairy dust. These are very sparkly, nothing subtle about these. This is gold fairy dust. Almost Colourpop Ritz-esque shade, but I feel this has a much stronger base than Ritz. It's like Ritz's meatier, chunkier, thicker, if you would, older brother. I really think these are beautiful, beautiful quality, and they're dirt cheap as well. Okay guys, that was it. I hope you enjoyed my hoard of single eyeshadows that I love to use as one shadow looks. Please don't forget to leave out in the comments down below if you've tried any of these, or if you have any more suggestions. What is your favorite single shadow look on yourself? Do tell me, because I'm really interested, and you know, I'm a magpie. I enjoy talking about sparkle dust with y'all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I'll see you the next time. Take care of yourselves and don't forget to have a wonderful morning, evening, second breakfast, third lunch, or whatever it is you're from. Bye.